Disney World is the most magical place on earth, but for some of us, it can be a total nightmare. We're talking tragedies. When your Walt Disney World vacation went horribly wrong. Horror story number 1. I've fallen and I can't get up. Let's face it, I'm clumsy, and I come from a long line of clumsy folks. My mom, notorious for spraining her ankle and falling sideways off of bicycles. Yes, my mom is a lot of wonderful things, but she is not coordinated. Let's get into some of your horror stories regarding falling and injuring yourself in Walt Disney World. The Art of Animation Resort. A beautiful, fun place for the whole family to stay and play. That is until the exciting themed atmosphere, well, let's just say it might lure you in and get you to step in mulch. I severely sprained my ankle when I tripped and fell in the mulch behind Sheriff at Art of Animation. Well, here we are at the scene of this particular horror story. Here is Sheriff. You can tell because his name is written on the trunk. Is this called the trunk of the car? I believe it is. Sheriff. Okay, so behind Sheriff, we are looking for mulch. Now, it appears that maybe Two-Step Grace was here during a time when there was nothing but mulch back here. Perhaps they added the bushes after so that people would not climb through the mulch, but usually they put down mulch when they're going they're going to plant something. So I'm going to assume the bushes were here. And Grace, please tell us in the comments if you watch this video. I want to know if I get this reenactment correct. Well, the first thing I want to point out is that there is a sign here that says no climbing. There are very clear footprints, shoe prints here on the hood of Sheriff, and he does not look happy about it. So we may dust for prints. Do you dust for shoe prints? I think you might just take a picture. I'll take a picture, and we'll work on figuring out who the culprit is later. The other thing I'd like to say is, Grace, don't go off-road. I don't think we're supposed to be walking in the mulch behind Sheriff. And also, is this what tripped you? That is a dangerous looking thing. There are things out here. Well, first of all, there's a very sharp drop off, okay? And I almost twisted my ankle just by doing that. Do you see this? So this is not an area to mess around with, okay? She had just had her picture taken, and then now she's going to step in and, oh no, twist, and then down. Grace, I'm truly sorry you suffered this accident. That is a horrible thing to have happen when you are on vacation in Walt Disney World. What I do want to talk about is if you do injure yourself in Disney World, if you seriously injure yourself and you need the help of paramedics, there is a little trick to dialing 911 with your cell phone here in Disney World. You will initially be connected with Orange County. That is not who will be responding to your call ultimately, and you can save time by telling them up front, "Hi, I'm in Walt Disney World and I need Reedy Creek and the District Fire Department." The reason you have to use multiple names, or it's best to use multiple names, is because they have changed the name of Reedy Creek. People still use Reedy Creek. People will still know what you're talking about, but if you want to be very, very clear with anyone who might be new on the phone or anything like that by calling it Reedy Creek and the district fire department. You're covering all of your bases and they will transfer you over to the correct number. This is something to do with the cell towers and the fact that the cell towers are not yet recognizing people being inside of Walt Disney World or property or on Walt Disney World property. I hear this is changing. They are in the process of changing this. When it changes, I will be sure to let you know, and we will have it on AllEars.net. It will be an exciting thing to report on because this is a weird step that must be taken that does waste a little bit of time when you're trying to get help now. Now, Reedy Creek and the district fire department are held to the same standards as every other department in the nation. Their response to emergency calls must be 8 minutes or less, and their response to non-emergency calls must be 12 minutes or less. This is regardless if you are inside a park, if you are at Disney Springs, if you are at a resort, you will get the same fast response time, and I understand this is something they pride themselves on. They are able to get to guests fast and get them help. But of course, the real advice is stay out of the mulch, Grace. Come on. You don't need to go. Do you know what mulch is? Do I need to tell you do an educational video about what mulch is? Come on. I know. I'm sorry, Grace. You've been through enough. All joking aside, do your best to stay out of trouble. Don't walk off the beaten path. There are safe pathways all over Walt Disney World. They are big, they are clean, they are clearly marked, and they are where we should be and we should stay. And if you follow all the directions and follow all the rules and you still hurt yourself, all I can say is, I'm sorry, it happens. It's not your fault. And here's how to get help. 911, Reedy Creek District Fire Department. Please transfer me. Thank you. My dad had a medical episode after writing Cosmic Rewind and could barely walk. My grandma tripped on an uneven sidewalk in Magic Kingdom and broke her nose. Oh no, Grandma. Tell us in the comments below, please. Felicia, Michelle, 92. How's Grandma doing? This is Center Street. A quaint little side street shooting off of Main Street, right in between Uptown Jewelers and Crystal Arts. Unfortunately, this is something I've seen happen. As you can see, the sidewalk does slope downward, and I have literally watched a father enter the sidewalk here and think that it was going to be level like this all the way. You know, I didn't have to step up at all. And then get over to this part, and he was looking up at the castle, and he fell right on his knee, and he never stood up again. He had to be assisted by EMTs, and I think about that a lot. It was a family arriving, their first day of their Disney World vacation. You could tell they were just, he was so excited to see the castle, and that is how quickly their day in Magic Kingdom ended. The other thing I want to point out is that these trolley tracks, while it is such a cool thing that they have these trolleys and that are horse-drawn that come out, and for instance, the Dapper Dans will ride them and sing to us throughout the day, but I see people step into this track a lot, especially twisting their ankle, but also getting ECVs stuck in there. I saw a woman turn over onto the side for ECV when she was laying on the ground. And of course, strollers and wheelchairs that are being pushed love to get stuck in the tracks as well. So a good rule of thumb when you're crossing the tracks is to cross them straight on like this. Don't let your wheels get stuck going the other direction because I've seen disaster strike.
Horror story number 2. Something is missing.
My son was on his band trip to Disney World and his friend lost his glasses on the People Mover the last night. I actually have a similar story myself. And here we are at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, scene of a crime involving a pair of sunglasses that I placed in the little pouch in the ride vehicle where they tell you to put your personal belongings. It's all fun and games until you leap out of the ride vehicle with excitement at the end of the ride when your restraint is lifted and you spring out of the vehicle and you forget to get your sunglasses out of the little pouch. And the first thing you do is realize it, but it's too late. The train has already taken off. You go to a cast member and say, I left my sunglasses. And they say, well, what car were you in? I don't know. Loading car? No, the car. Which car? I don't know at all. Do you know which train you were on? No, I don't. And they go inside and they do some checking and look around. And we didn't find anything, but go ahead and fill out a report. You find a picture of yourself wearing the sunglasses has been lost. And you think, this is great. I found the picture. Now I'm really gonna get my sunglasses back. The email never comes and those glasses are gone forever. And you just think to yourself, well, it's okay, because I've got another pair of these black ones, and then you lose these in Epcot, and this is the second pair I've owned. So I think it's tough. I think sunglasses are a tough thing to get back. Definitely fill out the form. Definitely attach a photo if you have one. It's worth trying, worth the effort to try. But in my case, I've done it twice with sunglasses, and both times they were gone forever. So Disney World uses a service called Chargerback Lost and Found Solutions, a third party to help with their lost and found. So you will end up on a Chargerback website in order to fill out your lost and found report. Don't be freaked out by this. It's just the way it is. And it's probably more effective because there is a dedicated company working full-time to help people reconnect with lost property. And then there was the time I lost something really valuable. Yes, probably one of the most valuable things I own. I left in Magic Kingdom on the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, October 1st, 2021. I brought my laptop so I could send and upload images and video quickly from Magic Kingdom. And I ended up leaving my laptop, my brand new MacBook Pro, in a locker overnight. But the irony of it was that in ensuring it wouldn't get lost, it got lost. So I did end up filling out the questionnaire on the website, and I waited, and I waited, and I never got an email back. Well, I waited actually until the next day, and then I just came back to Magic Kingdom, right here to City Hall. Now, there is a lost and found touch point in every park, and here in Magic Kingdom, that touch point is City Hall. It is a place you can go day of and say, help, I lost my laptop. And they can say, well, let's check in the back, and if something has been collected, if something's been turned in, it will be brought here in Magic Kingdom to City Hall, and you are able to come here, wait in line, speak to a guest relations cast member, and see if they have it. That's what I did on October 2nd, 2021, and because it was such a valuable object, they did keep it here at this location in the event that the owner of it would return and looking for it, because that was probably likely because it was something of such value. In normal circumstances, there is another place that things are sent when they are discovered overnight, processed here at this location. No one has come to retrieve them by the end of the day. They go someplace else. Let me tell you how it's normally done when items from the Lost and Found are not picked up by the end of the day and you are in one of the parks or at Disney Springs. This is Disney Springs Town Center Storage House. You can see underneath it says Lost and Found Pickup. It's over here by the bus depots. So you can see that you can arrive here by bus from your resort and come here to this Town Center Storage House. This is where everything from Lost and Found will end up the day after you lost it. So if you haven't been able to retrieve a lost item from a park by the end of the day of your visit, the day of having lost the item, you're able to come here the next day and check and see if your lost item has been retrieved and delivered to this main hub. Now, the cast member I just spoke to who works here said you absolutely should go onto the website and fill out the Lost and Found form, the questionnaire, and make sure you give them that detailed description of the item that you lost, and if possible, a photograph of that item. She said that helps them search items when you come in person to try to find it. It also helps them contact you. If they find your item, they will notify you either by email or by phone and tell you that you can come here to pick it up. Now, this is for the parks. If you lost something at your resort, that item is going to be delivered to Lost and Found at your resort, and it is going to stay there. It is never going to make its way here because it is not a place that you have to go back to, that they will charge admission to get in like a theme park. And the assumption is if you lost it at the resort and you're still here looking for it, then you are going to be at your resort and you're going to be able to go to the front desk and retrieve that lost item. In the event that your vacation is over, you have to return home and you still have not retrieved your lost item, the cast members here will ship it to you internationally, anywhere around the world, for free. What an incredibly generous service it is that they offer to do that, and that's for anyone, anywhere, no matter what you lost. So I asked her how long they hold things here. She said for 30 days. If after 30 days an item has not been retrieved and a form has not been filled out describing the item that they have for 30 days, then it will be sent to donation. That's right, the item will be donated to be sold for charity. She also told me the magic bands that they find that are not retrieved are actually turned into rubberized play pads for playgrounds for children, which is really cool. Now, in reviewing my shot list, our very own AllEars Quincy added a little anecdote about her mother losing her glasses on a little ride we like to call Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. They had to ask cast members for assistance, and cast members had to search ride vehicles in order to obtain the eyewear and return it to her safely, which they did. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this Disney World horror story has a happy ending. Thanks to AllEars Quincy. And in the event that you lose your glasses and you still have a lot of days left of your vacation and you can't see like I can't, I'm wearing contacts right now. It's my worst nightmare, let's not even talk about it, but take an Uber or a Lyft, some kind of rideshare to maybe one of the Lens Crafters locations close by. They have a great reputation for preparing your glasses quickly while you wait, and there are multiple locations around Walt Disney World. The point is you don't have to go without being able to see. In Disney World, you don't have to grin and bear it. You can go get your contacts, you can go get new glasses. I'm here in the Land Pavilion, And what do I find? But a pair of glasses that someone is missing. Oh. I'm gonna take these to a cast member so that they can be brought to guest relations, but it is so sad. Horror story number 3, I don't feel so good. It's happened to all of us. We work and we save and we plan and everything is perfect about our Walt Disney World vacation. And then we get here and I'm sure it's just allergies or I don't know. I know it's hot out, but I feel hotter than the temperature that's recorded. This feels more like a fever, or I don't know. Something's funny in my tummy. My mom got food poisoning. She missed 2 of 4 park days. Father passed out and vomited on Center Street in Magic Kingdom, escorted out by ambulance. Disney went above. I assume that means above and beyond. 2-year-old got us all stomach sick after a day at Animal Kingdom. First day of our trip. TMI, but my 2-year-old got a stomach virus and threw up the second we got to the park. My little brother threw up on my dad. Went to Disney for my daughter's birthday. Ended up with food poisoning from corn dog nuggets. We got neurovirus on the Wish before arriving in Walt Disney World. Guest healthcare services are presented by Advent Health, which is a very big hospital chain here in Florida. You can use the Explore Advent Health services by calling them at 407-939-7480 between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Time, or through the Disney website, disneyworld.disney.go.com. Additionally, you can use Instacart or Uber Eats or Grubhub or DoorDash to actually have over-the-counter medications brought to you from CVS is probably the drugstore they're going to use, but you can see other drugstores are available for delivery, and they can bring you anything from electrolyte beverages to Band-Aids to crutches. Yep, they have crutches, I checked. So if you want to bandage your wounded ankle and hop around Walt Disney World on crutches, you don't even have to leave property to do it because one of those delivery services will bring them to you. I just ran into a viewer named Kirsty. She stopped me and said, Breedlove, and she asked me what I was filming. And I said, I'm filming a video about horror stories that have happened to people in Walt Disney World. And she said, may I add one? And I said, of course. And she said, when I was a little girl, I was going through the turnstile to get to the raft loading area to get to Tom Sawyer Island, and my arm got stuck in the turnstile. And I said, it got stuck? And she said, yes, like stuck. And I said, oh my gosh, that is a nightmare. And she said, oh, I know, it's okay though. They gave us free fast passes. It was back in the day when fast pass was still a thing. So that's nice. If something like that ever happens to you, maybe you'll get some select experience Lightning Lane redemptions, right? There's always a bright side. And look, it's Spaceship Earth. I have to say that honestly, I'm grateful that nobody sent in a horror story, a Disney World horror story about the Skyliner. This is something I was truly afraid of. When it came to anticipating my first ride. My Uncle Graham made me get on, and I was grateful that he did, because not only is it something I enjoy, it's something I have to use a lot for work. Horror story number 4. I once was lost. I got lost. I was little. I got distracted by the hot air balloons in the land pavilion. Emma LaRouche, never before in my life have I heard something so relatable. What a relatable horror story. I'm still distracted by them. They don't even move anymore, and I'm not little. Let's be real. Getting lost as a kid is a nightmare. but probably a lot less of a nightmare than it is for the parents or the family member or friend who got separated from them. Being an adult searching for a child that is missing has to be one of the worst feelings in the world. Luckily, when you're in Walt Disney World, you're in one of the best places to have this nightmare come true. While you're getting ready, planning your Walt Disney World vacation, it's a good idea to teach your kids to identify Disney World cast members. It's a great idea to maybe pull up a picture of what their name tag looks like and show them this is an adult you can trust and this is an adult you can go to when you are in Disney World if we get separated. If your child knows to go to a Walt Disney World cast member and ask for help, and then you go and ask a cast member for help, you are now in communication with two people who will easily be able to communicate with each other and very quickly and safely reunite you and your child. I've seen it happen. It's sad to watch. I've seen it from the parents' perspective. They're freaking out. I've seen it happen from the child's perspective. They are so sad and scared. I have seen them go to the cast members and ask for help, and they have been reunited in minutes. So it's scary. I'm sorry if it does end up happening to you, but if you prepare ahead of time and come here with a plan, then it will be as good as it can possibly be. Horror story number 5, Moo Gal's Choice. Our Tron boarding group got called at the same time as our dining reservation for Steakhouse 71. This happens to a lot of people. You have a boarding group for the virtual queue and your time gets called and it just happens to line up perfectly with that dining reservation. It's actually not a horror story because there is a rule that Disney follows when it comes to negotiating between conflicting return times for things in the parks. If you have a virtual queue return that is conflicting with an existing dining reservation, Disney wants you to go eat. They want you to prioritize dining and spending more money, and when they see on your My Disney Experience profile that you have a dining reservation or had one today, and indeed confirm the fact that they were conflicting times and that you went ahead and chose the dining reservation, you prioritize that over coming to ride the ride, they should. It has been my experience that they will absolutely let you ride whenever you're able to return to the park or get from the restaurant over to the ride to ride it. Horror story number 6, you've got to pay to play. We forgot our credit card at home. Thank goodness it was a Disney Visa. They overnighted it. So it is a nightmare leaving your credit card at home. I absolutely will not argue with that. There are, however, some things that you can do both ahead of time and after the fact if you find yourself in an emergency like that. Before you leave home, load your credit and debit cards into your Apple Wallet or Google Wallet and use Apple Pay if you have an iPhone or Google Pay if you have an Android when you're in the parks. Most locations have touchless payment as an option. If you're really in a bind, you can have someone from back home or really anywhere purchase a Disney gift card for you online and have it emailed to you. Then you'll be able to load that onto your phone and cast members are able to scan a barcode and you'll be able to use it all over Walt Disney World property. And if it is the debit card that you lost, then you can go to your bank, probably here in Orlando. I have branches of my kind of niche Northeastern bank. It's called TD. And there are branches here that will actually make you a card while you wait. So that's a really great option too. And if all else fails, go talk to the front desk at your resort there may be something they can do, an idea that we haven't thought of, something magical that they're able to make happen for you. It's always a great idea to check with them. Well, I'm happy to report that despite the horrifying nature of the stories we heard today, everyone in them ended up just fine. Everyone is safe, everyone is healthy. What did you think of this video? I think I learned a lot through other people's misery. I think I related to more of these stories than not, but I want to know what you think. Tell us in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And now, go watch us try to not laugh in Disney World. We did everything we could, but I don't know how well I did. See you next time. Bye.